something that I really liked about the course is that I never really understood all these connections within nature. I mean, I think it's just mind blowing, and how it's actually just common sense how things just go and together and work together, and that really changed me as well.
And some things I really liked about the course that I take with me, well, everything, but specific things, is animal systems. I love animals, and I don't think that they work for us. I think we can work with them way more, and we can find way more systems of being with them. And in the other hand, I really like the regreening the desert, because I come from Mexico, and we have a lot of places where people are very poor, where they have land, but they don't know how to use it. You know, they just have these deserts that they were inherited or given, and they don't have all the tools nor the knowledge to do it. So I don't know, it really inspires me to go to Mexico and teach these communities to regreen their land and to be able to be more sustainable and less poor and dependent on the circular economy and the people who are on top, making them go more down and not letting them thrive. So thank you for that a lot.
I found the food forest bit very interesting, because I felt you can include so much into the into the food forest, and sort of it can be so productive. And I really enjoyed learning about the energy generation as well, sort of smaller scale rather than the huge scale where it just isn't sustainable. Well, but I really enjoyed the social aspect of permaculture, because that's a bit I didn't expect to be part of the course, and it was a nice surprise, and it was really interesting to learn about. So thank you. I've really, really loved it.
Every element, each week it's a different, obviously, module, and I found them all interesting, but the one that was really inspiring was the food forest, and really connecting to the different guilds and things, and just understanding and appreciating. I thought I appreciated nature before I came into this course, but the course has just taken me deeper into that. So I'm sort of looking at nature in a completely different way than I did before. And it is inspiring, completely inspiring. And I think everybody on the planet should be doing a permaculture design course. That's my opinion.
Things that really interested me about this, and something that was prevalent and a real problem in Ibiza, was water waste, and how their aquifers, and there were probably about 30 aquifers on Ibiza, and that only 3, I think, when we got there, were still drinkable water, and they were importing water from the mainland. And running taps, brushing teeth, 9 litres of water if you leave the tap running, and all the millions of tourists coming to the island every year, and all those millions of gallons of water that were just pouring down the sinks. And so the grey water aspect, the grey water management, was really interesting for me. Herbal medicine has always been an interest of mine, and that, again, it just kind of cleared the mist for me in how I could take that interest forward and create a medicinal plant sanctuary on our permaculture project. And the guilds as well. The guilds are really cute. I like that. The trees, the shrubs, the herbs, the ground cover, all working together. These guilds, when we went out on our walk and we were looking for them and finding them and writing about them and studying, I mean, pretty much everything you look at, you can eat. And I think that there's a market there. You can sell these gardeners ready-made guilds. And there's a nice little guild pack that you can put together and stick that in your garden. It's just been brilliant, awesome. Can't wait to get going the next step of this journey. So thank you, and thank you all.
The brainstorming part helps you see things from another point of view, or at least helps me see things from another point of view. And that helped me better form my own opinions, for lack of a better word, about certain topics. Aside from that, I never really bothered looking into the social aspect of permaculture that much, so I learned some new things there. I knew it was around, clearly mentioned everywhere. I just didn't develop an interest in it really up until now, mainly because I've been looking at it from my own perspective all the time rather than the social perspective. What I will take away more practically, I think, is the building part, especially as it looks now that I'll have a chance to end up with a ruin rather than an actual building. So I'll get to do a lot more input myself. And aside from that, what I want to look more into anyway, still, it's already something I wanted to look into, but now even more is waterworks in general. As for the course itself, I really enjoyed it. And like I said, especially the group interactions were really helpful for me.
I liked this homework of creating my house. I haven't finished because there's so many things you have to think about, but it got me thinking, and I've been thinking about tiny house things and thought, oh well, but I would have to have electricities from somewhere and water, and now I have ideas that I don't have to be on the grid. There is other solutions, so that's very inspiring.
I want everything in my God. I want everything here. I want the natural swimming pool. I want the chickens. But now I've just got to really come back to reality and think, no, a herb spiral outside my kitchen would be brilliant. You know, the main thing I'm going to be concentrating on is harvesting more water. I've got a water butt set up on my shed, and that's sort of like not enough. You know, we've had this rain and I've had to resort to getting tap water to water my pots and everything, my plants. So definitely need to harvest more water. I want to build a mulch bed and really use that, you know, get some decent soil. I want lovely soil with all the nutrients in it. So I'm really interested in building nice soil. There's a little bit of rough ground down the road, so I want to maybe do some guerrilla gardening and just throw in a few edible plants. And it really doesn't matter if somebody sees a tomato plant there with tomatoes growing, a good yield, and they pinch a couple, then, you know, that's fine if they're hungry, and then let them eat.
Again, like what Walter said, like what Zena said, I think the social aspect is massive. The parts of the course that I really enjoyed were I really enjoyed learning about weeds. That little bit of homework about go out and find a weed and tell me about it, I thought that was awesome, because they've been maligned for so long. They're always there. People think, like, similar to rats and cockroaches, you know, people think that something that survives everywhere and comes up when you don't want it is a bad thing. But there's obviously qualities there that we need to learn from, and to discover that they're so nutritious and, you know, so good for other plants and the soil. And that was another good module, the soil module. You know, I really enjoyed because the way I actually found this course was I was looking into biodynamics and biodynamic farming, and one step led to another. And, you know, the soil preparation in biodynamics is very similar to what you told us about in the soil module. And just to know that, you know, the stuff that's under our feet is so precious and so complicated. It's not just mud, you know. That was another mind-blowing module. Like David said, the grey water, because I'm in a city, I think sustainability, you know, recycling, all those things are so important. And to learn that we waste so much water, and even though there's an ocean out there, the graph you showed us with, you know, the percentages of all the different types of water there are, and how much of it is actually usable to us, like just things like that. They're just, we take so much for granted that, to be reminded or to be introduced to some of these ideas is really important. Thank you. Thanks Josh. Thanks everyone. I really appreciate it.